Welcome to Come Back number 2. I'm your host, Echo Fan Grey Wolf. So, I'm going to talk to y'all about my weekend because it hasn't been a great weekend. It wasn't a really bad weekend, but I don't really have nothing to give y'all right now because I know y'all don't want to hear about Trump. I know y'all don't want to hear about the protests, and I don't really want to talk about the future spokesperson of the Pens. But yeah, so my weekend was going pretty good and pretty not good. So I did a lot of filming for TikTok. I did a lot of anti-Trump videos. I did a lot of fighting pretending videos. And last night, while everything was winding down, I almost had an accident while I was asleep. This is not a joke. So I'm going to state this, and you guys can do with this as you will. It didn't happen, but it came close enough to happening. After you turn 50, you probably shouldn't trust farts. Okay? Sometimes they're not farts. And a wet fart's the worst fart of them all. And last night, I had a wet fart at about 3 o'clock. And I was in my sweet spot. I was sleeping. And I felt it. So I was like, oh, it's just going to be a fart. I'm sorry. When you think about things like this, it does tickle your fancy and make you start laughing. So I'm sleeping. And I'm listening to TikTok and pretending. And so I just got to let this fart. It's just going to be a fart. So I can feel it about to ooze out. So my butt cheeks locked up. I was like, oh, this is not a fart. I made it. I made it to the bathroom. So I didn't poop on myself. But it was a close call. So for further reference, when you hit about that 45-year-old mark, you might want to start being more careful when you decide to expass gas from your ass. Now, outside of the fun part of last night, because I normally film Monologue Monday at night, but I had to fight a lot of goddamn pretending videos last night, and so I made a lot of pretending videos. I'm not gonna show them to y'all, but I gotta get to my motherfucking TikTok first. That's my gallery. Here's my TikTok. Alright, that's my bro there. Okay. So, let me, post it. Okay, that's a Trump video. That was like the last video I made. Okay, TikTok, this is for educational purposes. I send warnings, not invitations. I apologize if I would say this. Do not apologize for what I say. This is part 7. Yeah, so I made 7 videos about, pretendians. Or Afro-Indigenous. This is not for you. If you happen to be a pretendian who happens to be Afro-Indigenous, but... So yeah, I made 7 of those, and it was just video after video after video after video because of the asinine shit that was just going on. And the thing with TikTok, for example, because it got extended for another 70 some odd damn days, and a lot of people aren't aware that TikTok isn't saved. It's just in a reprieve. It's not saved. It's in a reprieve until either an American company buys it or it's shelved in America. And the only reason they want to ban it in America is because of all the stuff that TikTok has done. It has allowed everyone to speak freely. It has allowed people to get information about things like residential schools and natives missing and all kinds of other stuff. And no other app has really done that. No other app has really gone out of its way to make sure that Native American stuff is told and that other things are told in its place. And in the 7 videos, it was the quiet pretendians for using Virginia tribes and Walter Plecker. And the title of it is, if you follow me on TikTok, it is Be Very Quiet, I'm Hunting Pretendians who are using Virginia tribes but can't say Powhatan. Learn how to speak the name of the tribe before you try to steal the tribe. And it was just like a whole bunch of those videos that needed to be made. And the thing with that is, man, I have never said that a pretendian doesn't have Native American heritage. or a lineage or a parent or an ancestor or whatever. But they also need to acknowledge that they're black. I acknowledge that I'm part native. I acknowledge that I'm part black. I acknowledge that I'm part white. Now, which two worlds can I live in effectively? I can be a native and live in a native land. I can be a black man and live in a black man. I can never be a white man. My skin's too dark. No. My brother might be able to pass, but not me. But he doesn't have my hair. So if he took my hair and lived in the white man's world, he could do that. I can't do that. I am high yellow, but I ain't so high yellow that I can pass for white. He's off white and can pass for a white man with a tan. And this is my youngest brother of my three younger brothers. Now, the good news that came yesterday, we went to Lowe's. I finally met my second Native American in Charlottesville. And I was like, oh, thank God. Now, he's a native from Mexico, but he's still a Native American. And he's a Mexican man, and I want to shout out to him. Shout out, Ben, just in case you finally found me. Ben made my weekend. All right? So thank you, Ben. He gave me a lot of information for my shed and everything, and I'm going to take his advice, and I'm going to do it. Just got to get my money back right. And, I love you, Ben. I greatly appreciate it because there's barely any fucking natives around here in Charlottesville. A couple of months back, I met a actual Choctaw native, a full-blooded Choctaw on Biscuit Run. I didn't get his name, or I don't remember his name, or both. But I did give him my YouTube channel also. So if you're out there, brother, good to meet you. Good to see you. Hope to run back into you on Biscuit Run. He also is married, so I feel really, really stupid because I'm older than both of these gentlemen, and I don't have a wife or kids. So there's that. But anyway, other than that, being the highlight of my weekend, I almost got hit by a falcon. Might have been a hawk. Either way, it was a bird of prey, and they literally flew down while I was making a TikTok. But my TikTok had just ended, so I didn't get to catch it. I introduced myself to a man who was also looking for the hawk or the falcon, and I talked his ear off, and he finally fucking showed up, and the guy caught him in this little viewfinder thing. He's just like, well, who knew? So it wasn't a really bad weekend with the exception of the Trump bullshit. Um, the Trump bullshit is really simple, so I'm gonna make this really, really short because I heard about it and I was kind of upset about it. But basically it goes like this: some soldiers died, and Trump didn't want to come and receive the bodies. He wanted to go play golf, which is really fucked up. And this is another reason why I said, we sign up because freedom ain't free. We don't know what we're getting into until we're in it. But if you don't understand that, then you probably shouldn't sign up in the first place because you're joining the army. It's not a billionaire boys club. You join the army to fight for the freedom of every man, woman, and child in the United States. And if you're in a different country, you do it for that. But what they don't tell you is, until you find out what your fucking job is when you get out of boot camp, what you're getting into. If you're a frontline soldier, your MOS is more than likely 11 Bravo, or your Delta, or your Oscar, or your some shit like that. You're going to be getting shot at. That's just the bottom line. In return, you are going to open fire on the same people who were shooting at you, despite the fact that that person could be an 8-year-old boy with a rocket launcher. You have no option other than to lay that child down. And if that's something you guys didn't want to hear, I do apologize for that. But that's what they taught us at Fort Benning. When you lay down that damn line of fire, anybody over there that's shooting at you, you lay them down and you double tap them. And that is why this cat card is under the Geneva Convention, so that things like that doesn't happen again, where people walk past who they assume are unalived or dead, and come to find out that that person is very much alive because that person gets up and then shoots a lot of people in the back because you didn't check to see if that son of a bitch was dead. So That's the thing. And the fact that our felon 47 didn't give two shits about the people that died. And a lot of veterans voted for this fucker. And a lot of service people voted for this fucker. So that took a lot out of my weekend with that. And I'm like, that last video with the woman talking was that video that I stitched about how he didn't want to receive the bodies of our fallen, which is fucked up. And in case I haven't said this, I'll say it in this short thing and I'm going to end it. Since Trump has been in office, he's gone after every person of color that's been in the military. Started with the Tuskegee Airmen, and then he went to the fucking damn people who have passed at Arlington, and then he went to the Code Talkers, and then he went after Jackie Robinson, and then he started going after our benefits and shit. So the worst part of that is that J.D. Vance is a veteran, and he ain't said shit. And the veterans that have served and voted red ain't said shit. And that's been my whole thing for TikTok this whole weekend. Why y'all ain't saying shit? We served. This motherfucker ain't never laced up a pair of boots a day in his goddamn life. But we served. And he's taking everything from us. Anyway, enough about Trump. We're going to go do Monologue Monday now. So it's going to be one video. I'm going to run lines. And then I'm going to try something with Falcon to see if that would be something that would interest you. Because I can't do stop motion. But I can do something. So brace yourself because here comes Echo.